You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn you back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Come on in, come on in. Please make sure on your way in that you do like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the Hood Table. Please and thank you so very much for doing that for your girl. Now, today we are going to be reviewing Belle Collective. It is now on episode 3, and the name of the show was titled Sisters in the Struggle. And child, let me tell you right away that this review is going to be short, sweet, and directly to the point. So again, come on in, like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the Hood Table for those of you who are not subscribed. And make sure you also follow us on Facebook, IG, Twitter, Stereo, and also our own personal website, which is thehoodtable.com. So, first of all, let me say I wish a nigga would. And I mean that in all sincerity, especially when speaking of my sons, both of my sons. Now, if you didn't watch this episode, you're like, what the heck? What is Tanya talking about? Let's see. There was, I mean, all of the ladies are very interesting. But this last episode, much of the show was taken up by Marie's storyline. So we're just going to focus on Marie this episode. Because again, her storyline took up most of the show, most of the episode. Marie's oldest child, her son, has 3 children, 3 small children, all under the age of 1 year old. And when I heard that, I was like, I know that was a mistake. I know she didn't mean that. Did she mean all under 5? All under 4? All under 3? 3 children, all under 1 year old by different baby mamas. I was like, what the hell is they doing down there in Jackson, Mississippi? Do they have nothing else to do but have sex? But that's not the case for him because he's a college kid. So it ain't like he's sitting around, just got idle time, But then again, it don't take that much time to have sex, let alone bear a child. So anywho, he has 3 children, all under the age of 1. Now, it don't matter if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. I firmly believe in boys, mothers and boys, the fathers, taking care of their own kids. I don't have any grandkids yet, but I do have one on the way, which is due this May. But 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, however many grandkids I might happen to have in the future, I refuse to allow my sons nor their baby mamas to make me mama of any of my grandbabies. If you ain't dead, if you ain't retarded, mentally challenged, if you ain't sick, ill, something like that, there's no reason why you can't take care of your own kids, or at least try. In this situation, it seems like he doesn't even try. And then where does her son get off yelling and screaming at her like he did? Man, when I was watching that, I felt I was so disgusted in his behavior, so disgusted. Because I don't know this family personally, but you can tell that Marie really loves her son, her kids for that matter, and her grandkids for that matter. And she's stepping up to the plate because it's not a grandparent's responsibility to raise grandkids. That's not what we supposed to do as grandparents. We're supposed to do what we can and when we can. And that's it. Period. But he wasn't just yelling and screaming at her and cussing at her. He was punching holes all through her home as well. And if she didn't record it, I probably wouldn't have believed it, because I'm like, ain't no way your child running through your house, punching holes in the wall, cussing at you, screaming at you, and you taking care of him and all his kids and a baby mama. Like what? Do they not got welfare down there? Food stamp, Section 8, WIC. I mean, the pantries, they doing pantries like 2-3 times a week all across the world these days. And the baby mama need help too. I was like, oh hell no. Hell no. And he was doing all that because Marie wants him to go to college closer to home in order to be, in his 3 children's lives. And that makes perfect sense to me. But obviously makes no sense to her son. And as far as college goes, I have always felt like a college kid who, has a child should still pursue higher learning if that's their dream. But if you have made some children before or during college, while in college, then sometimes your plans might have to change, or you might have to alter your change to fit your children into your life as well. You don't just literally have to stop going to school, because we see people in college all the time. They be at the library with a baby on their hip, nursing the baby, all that kind of stuff. There are some colleges that allow kids to live on campus with the mother. So it can be done. I went to college full time while both my sons were young. They both played sports all year round. I worked a full-time job. Trust me, I was woe out, but I made it work. I made it work. So it can be done. You don't have to just drop out of school. But your plans sometimes have to change or alter. And that's part of being a responsible parent. But this fool, he got 3 kids all under one. And he figures that attending school closer to home is not necessary to be involved in their lives. Wrong answer. Wrong answer, child. And yes, you are still a child. If you don't want to be treated as such, then you got to grow up. You got to man up. And for Christ's sake, start wrapping it up. Come on now. You got 3 kids under one and in college, and you can't take care of none of them. The mama got to do all the work. All the work. I'm going to have to take a drink on that. Now, both of my sons attended college. When my oldest son left for college, I still took care of him. He was going to school full time in a small hick town. The jobs there were scarce, so I was his main provider. I was his mother. He, received some scholarships. We had to get loans, but he got scholarships too. And in that town, he couldn't really find a job because, again, jobs were limited because they were like literally in the middle of nowhere. Their school was like literally in the middle of nowhere in this small town. And our agreement was, as long as he kept his grades up, he could attend school out there with my assistance. But as soon as those grades started to decline, I had him bounce, come back, enroll in a local school in the area. And he had to get a part-time job. But of course, if he still needed help, assistance here and there, I would still help him. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't have no children either. He was still going to school. He was working, doing, chores around the house, just, normal kid stuff. Even though they 18, 19, 20, whatever, if they stay at home, I believe kids should still do chores. They should still be obedient. come in at a respectful hour, or at least an hour that we agreed to. I'm gonna let you be grown, but you still gotta be respectful because I still pay the cost to be the boss up in and through here. Okay. Now, my second son, he's in his second year of college. He's doing awesome. Good grades and everything. He decided to stay home and attend one of the top colleges here in this area. He goes to one of the most expensive schools. Matter of fact, in our area, it is actually the most expensive college here in town. But the same thing goes for him. So long as he keeps his grades up, I'll continue to support him also, as he needs. But ain't no way in hell I'll be taking care of a son in college and his three kids and baby mamas. And he's disrespectful, punching holes in my walls. The next thing you know, he'll be trying to punch a hole in her head. Shit. Like I said at the beginning of this show, I wish a nigga would. Nobody is gonna be punching holes in my walls and disrespecting me in my own crib or anywhere for that matter when it comes to my children. Nope. And he needs to alter his plans. He needs to alter his plans, starting, with thinking money grows on trees. Like, his mother is obviously doing very well for herself. But that don't mean take advantage of your mama or your daddy. Kids don't take advantage of their parents just because they got money. See, that's where it all went wrong. She said she was spoiling him, getting him everything he wanted and all that. And I done said before several times, my kids, they got nice things when they was coming up, expensive shoes, clothes, all that kind of stuff, but they earned it. They didn't just come up to me and say, "Mama, can I get these $200-$300 LeBron James, or these Jordans, or this $300 jacket?" Or no. They earned it. Good grades, chores, respect at home, at school. They had to be doing it all when it came to expensive things that I have to purchase with my hard-earned money, and we was not rich, far from it. But anywho. Now, in saying all that, I do agree with with Essie, her best friend, with Essie regarding Marie's husband for the second time around. First of all, how you remarry a man who cheated on you, and after y'all remarried for the second time around, he from time to time doesn't feel the need to come home, and you still with him? As far as you know, girl, he's still cheating on you every night that he decides not to come home. Now, this says a lot about, the relationship that Marie has with her son as well. Because one reason why both of my sons, who are 24 and 19, a 19-year-old will be 20 next week, they have never and will never, ever treat me that way. And why? Because I have never allowed anyone, man or woman, to disrespect me in that manner. And ever since they were old enough to understand the English language, they knew that mama will come for you. You shall treat me with utmost respect at all times. At all times. Anyway, the way a woman allows her man to treat her, y'all. The way a woman allows her man to treat her, whether good or bad, tends to trickle down to the young men in the family. And one last thing, as far as that goes, when it comes to the nastiness that Marie gave at the brunch, that might also stem from the ugliness that she is experiencing in her own life. She really did lash out on Latrice, and I didn't, made my opinions about that. I thought she was wrong. She did lash out with her. I don't think Latrice deserved all of that she gave her. And that could have been a results from, Marie dealing with her own personal life, things going on in her own life, and her, taking it out on somebody. She attacked Latrice the same way her own son attacks her. Message. Now, I am glad that Marie's son agreed to attend some anger management sessions, but he's definitely not the only one who needs it. Letitia, the queen of the Urban Belle brunches, women empowerment brunches, she has set Marie down several times, to explain to her how you should never let anyone get that far underneath your skin to get you that angry, to make you act out like that, especially as a successful businesswoman. The same way you would want people to treat you in your business, you need to give that back, that same energy to somebody else's business. If you're unsatisfied with them again, like Big Red said, my hours are 8 to 5. Contact me. Don't be trying to bash me out in the streets in public when we around in a professional setting. That was very tacky and uncouth for some women who claim to be, Southern belles and so bougie and all that graceful and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that not yeah, it wasn't. But not only do I believe that Marie and her son can benefit from some anger management sessions, but Marie and her husband might need counseling as well for their relationship. Now I don't know if they're already in counseling. I mean, they were married once, then divorced, then they decided to give it another chance, so they might be in counseling. I don't know. We only know what they tell us or what we see. But the second time around, this marriage, he tends to not come home at night sometime. And she sounded really upset that he wasn't there the night before or when her son had lashed out at her or whatnot. Dealing with children like that who are very, I don't know what to call them, like disrespectful, hard head, angry, things like that. It's kind of hard to deal with alone as a single parent. You got to have a support system. And if you have a husband at home or a man, baby daddy, whatever you want to call them, they should be part of your support system. So I don't know if he wasn't there already or if he left after the blow up. Because one thing for certain, two things for sure, we don't know exactly what goes on in somebody's household. Again, they only show us what they want us to see. So who knows? Her husband could be sleeping away from home because of the fact that he's tired of going through that BS, with her and her son. And who knows, he might have been trying to be supportive, but you know how it is sometimes with kids, especially if that ain't their real dad and all that, especially if the mama has babied them, spoiled them, let them get away with shit. When another man try to tell them something, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that, so it's kind of like talking to a brick wall. So who knows exactly? So again, if they're not getting counseling, they might want to look into that as well, because there are definitely some issues there as far as the relationship. And not only do I think they should get counseling because of that, but also because Marie believes that her husband might be a little jealous of not only her and Essie's relationship or their friendship, but also jealous of their business relationship. Per Marie, he wasn't too happy about not being in business with her. And from the look of things, it seems like as far as her business venture, she made a very wise executive decision to not go in business with her husband. Child, can you imagine? Can you imagine running a business with your spouse who doesn't sometimes come home at night? And then you have to face them in the morning and deal with them at work in front of your or around your employees? All I have to say to that is do not shit where you eat. Message. I learned that a long time ago. I don't, ever since what was that, 19, somewhere in the 90s, I always made the executive decision to not date anybody that I work with. And child, it can go one or two ways. It can go excellent or it can go horribly wrong. But anywho, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all thought about this episode or the last few episodes or any of the ladies, any of their storylines. Let me know how you feel, especially about this episode. when it comes to Marie and your child. Have you ever experienced anything like that with one of your children? And if so, what advice do you have for Marie or any other parent who might be dealing with the same type of things in their household with their children and or their man who sometimes doesn't like to come home at night? Let me know. And don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe to the Hood Table if you're not already subscribed. And again, follow us on IG, Twitter, Stereo, Facebook, and thehoodtable.com. And tomorrow night, guys, I'm going to be doing the review on The Housewives of Atlanta. The last episode that came on Sunday. I'm a few days behind, but I'm going to get to it tomorrow. It's episode 8 of season 13. We'll do that tomorrow evening. So make sure you have our notification bell hit so you can always know when we go live. And stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times. And remember, keep it hood. Bye.